Aquarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early December 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aquarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. Guides and spirit team. What do we got for the Aquarians, Aquarius gang? In early December. We're getting very close to your birthday, my friends. I hope you're already starting to plan. Let's see what's up. Energies, messages, insights can we take a peek at? And yeah, we're just going to look at this first card real quick. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aquarius, please. What is happening for my good friends? Guides and spirit team, what is the vibe? What's the energy flowing? A little complex there, huh? That's what I always think when this card shows up. I haven't seen this card in quite a while. I think I was getting it a few months ago, so I like to see that it's resurfacing here. It just feels like a lot. So whether it's your energy being a lot of different places or there's a certain complexity. Before we fully dive into it, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this card a little bit. So there's a lot of little things on that little drawer there, right? You notice this person, they're looking in a mirror and they're actually holding a mask. And there's multiple mirrors, multiple reflections, multiple items all over this desk. There's a little Russian babushka doll on there, which for those of you that are unfamiliar, those type of dolls, it's like you open one up, there's another one, and you open it, and it's layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. So to me, when I see this, I think of layers of an onion. So there could be certain situations that might seem pretty innocuous on the surface. It might seem pretty harmless, or there's not much going on. But in reality, underneath the surface, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of complexity. Now, for some Aquarians out there, maybe your energy's in a lot of different places. Maybe there's a lot of energies affecting you. Just know, and I've been picking this up for air signs specifically this week, that you could be extra sensitive to the energetic stimulus around you. So just know, like, whether it's the people or the places that you're at, protect your energy when this card is here. Either that or it's a complex situation. So we're just going to leave it at that for now. And I could chill right there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the Aquarians. What is happening in early December? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Surprising Win, and I really hope you had one. I always say wins come in all different shapes and sizes. It could be monetary, could be career-based, it could be friends, family, relationships, you name it. But that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks. So I really hope a lot of you do have something great coming in that you don't quite see coming. But we're going to see what energy shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. Maybe we'll get 2 good energies 2 weeks in a row. What's happening here for my Aquarius friends? What's up? Let's get it going here. 3 cards, nice and quick. Thank you. Okay. I mean, we're starting with a very optimistic card. I like the Fool card. And I would say that's an energy that does vibe well with Aquarius energy. But we're going to put that right there. Let him chill by the amethyst. He could take a little chill pill. It's an action card. And if you know me, you know I love to start a reading with an action card. I always feel like that's a good thing. Whoa. All right. So we're continuing pretty strong here. I'm going to try my best, Aquarius, to stay pretty neutral and well-grounded. But when we go from the Fool to the 6 of Wands, these are primo cards. Let's get one more. Let's get one more. What we got here for Aquarius, please? Thank you. And the High Priestess. That ties in to almost exactly what I was seeing with that very first card, the energetic sensitivity. There's a certain sense of mystery surrounding her as well. So yeah, Aquarius. Listen, I always love you doing your readings. I feel like there's an extra layer or 2 to yours this week. Now let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. But at first glance, elementally, I like what's going on. If you look here in the box, we got double down of fire energy. Now, you're an air sign, even though you're the water bearer. Aquarius is an air sign technically. So when I see all this fire energy mixing with your Aquarian energy, that's beneficial. That's an energy that can move you forward. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of oomph to this energy. It doesn't feel stale and stagnant. So, I mean, it's getting ready to move. So just know if you're in any situation where it's like pretty stale, stagnant, or it's unchanging, when I see all this energy built up in the front, it's like, oh, not forever. This energy is getting primed up to make a big move. Here on the back end, we do have water, which does calm things down a little bit with the high priestess, but I feel like she's more of just a little bit of mystery. I'm feeling very optimistic so far, and I'm going to try to stay neutral, because when we clarify, things could start going left. But let's go through piece by piece and really start to build it out. Position number one, we're starting with the Fool card, the protagonist of the tarot deck, the very first of the major arcana. Now, this card does link to the zodiac sign of Aries, so you might be connected to an Aries when this card shows up. Notice that the sun is shining and this Fool looks happy and content. This is a playful, jovial type of energy. It's having a good time for the most part. Now, every card does have a challenge connected to it. So even though the Fool represents new journeys, new paths, new beginnings, and it is filled with optimism, the Fool, similar to people who are Aries, and I'm not making fun of Aries because I am one myself, but when I see this card, it could be a little unexpected, right? It could be an energy that does things that people don't expect it to do. It could not think things through. It's a very spontaneous type of energy. Notice the Fool is always about to walk off that cliff. So in this time, just try not to be too spontaneous or try to keep something in check. It's very important when this card is here, but it's starting with action and it's starting in a good place. Moving over, we have a really, really positive energy right next to it. We have the Six of Wands, and we see this person, they have their laurels. It looks like they're marching in a parade. This is a card of complete and total victory. Okay, so again, wins and victories come in all different shapes and sizes, but this is a card of public notoriety. This is a card of attention. So for some Aquarians, you might be catching certain people's eyes in this time, or you might be getting more attention than you normally do when this card is here. It's a card of the spotlight, and it's a card of getting kudos for the things that you've done, recognition for the things that you've done. It's attention, but usually the good kind. So again, very victorious. This person's coming back with a win under their belt. So I'm really liking this. Now you might ask, where's the challenge in connection to this card? Again, it is fire. So similar to this Fool, there's a certain spontaneity to this card. Fire energy can be explosive where, yeah, it's taking action, but there's an unpredictability to it. But I always say with the Six of Wands, this can be a card of confidence, but be careful to not be too cocky. It's good to be confident. To be too cocky, not so much. If you have dealings with any individuals that are a little too overconfident or a little too overzealous, this could be a big warning about that. So we'll see what shows up underneath. I'm not picking up any of those funky vibes just yet, because going from the Fool into the Six of Wands, it's like good on good. It's like win and then another. We're stacking them up here. Now, moving to the back end is where we do get a little mysterious, and I feel like this next card could really be the cornerstone of the reading. We have the High Priestess. She is the matron of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers. She does connect to the zodiac sign of Pisces, your zodiacal neighbor. If it's not that, I also link her to the other water signs as well, because I feel like they all share these traits. So I think Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But the High Priestess to me is the keeper of sacred knowledge. She speaks about one's gut instinct or intuition, one's empathy. And remember, I said in the very beginning, you could be hypersensitive to energetic stimulus. I mean, that's her in a nutshell, right? So just know that could really be, it's shown up twice already in this reading. So very important to try to keep your energy baseline and protect your energy, especially with some of the transits that are going on astrologically, Pluto moving into Aquarius and all that. The thing about her is, notice she is holding a volume of the sacred law right there in her lap. And yeah, she's in the place of balance. But the challenge with the High Priestess is she is very mysterious. She is quiet. She is secretive. She's not saying much. So again, when we have this unpredictable energy with the fire, then we have the High Priestess that's being very hush-hush quiet. There's this unexpected or unpredictable energy here. So I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. Get a good shuffle here. What do we have for my Aquarians, please? What's happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Fool. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aquarius, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's go in on this Fool card. Why is it here? What is this action about? Okay, Magician in reverse. All right, so there could be something, and I still feel optimistic about this because, listen, the Magician in reverse is not always a bad thing. I feel the only warning I could pull here for a lot of Aquarians is that you might be a little more you in your behaviors and the way you act, you might be a little more unpredictable than you normally are. So just know you might have spontaneous urges in the coming days and weeks. Again, I'm not going to get hyper specific and call anyone out here, but when I see the Fool card with the Magician in reverse, it's like it's an untamed type of energy. So just know, like, in this time you could be having some really, really strong urges. Okay, so you take that and file it in whatever area of life that fits for you. I feel like there's going to be very strong untamable urges, right? Yeah, that's a unique message. I don't think I've ever given that one on this channel. But aside from that, when I do see the Fool and the Magician in reverse, there could be something coming where it's like a great surprise, where it's like, oh, well, I didn't even manifest this. I didn't even think about this. I wasn't even trying to bring this in, and here it is. So already I'm loving this, okay? Aside from that little warning about the urges or the spontaneous energy, just know that could absolutely be the case. But when I see the Fool and the Magician in reverse, remember, the Magician's a card of control. Yes, it's a manifester. Yes, it's very spiritual and the whole nine. But when it shows up in reverse, this is an energy that can't be controlled or something that you haven't manifested. So when I see it underneath the Fool, hopefully, I would say for a very, very small portion of you, hopefully you're not feeling like you're being controlled in one way or another. Listen, I know that energy does not vibe with Aquarius. Like if an Aquarius feels like someone's trying to manipulate or control them, that's not a good recipe there, my friend, if you're cross-watching. But the big thing I'm picking up here is the urges, the big spontaneous energy, and also like there could be some great things coming in that you didn't even like try to manifest it in. It's like it's here. It's like, oh, okay, I'll take it. So let's just keep moving. We're starting with a good energy for the most part. So let's go in on the Six of Wands. It's a pleasant surprise. That's a good way for me to put it. Like, oh, this is a pleasant surprise. So let's go in on that Six of Wands. Watch them urges, my good friends. Watch them. Cool. All right. It is important to play it cool in some sort of way. I know that, listen, you're getting some really, really unique messages that I don't normally give. This is night and day type of energy. So yeah, the first thing that did come through is like with whatever it is you're dealing with, for those of you that are going through anything difficult or trying, it's important to play it confident, play it cool. Okay. But again, at the same time, when I see the Five of Pentacles clarifying this Six of Wands, it's like night and day. We have a change where it was like really, really rough out in the cold, not getting much attention, to getting it all. So it's like a flip switches, or yeah, switch flips, or however we want to word it. Now, the Five of Pentacles could represent lonesomeness, someone feeling isolated. It's the exact opposite of this Six of Wands. So I feel for a lot of Aquarians, there could be certain situations where it does like a flip on its head. Hopefully that's in a good way for you. I do feel for a lot of you it is going to be very positive change. But again, it could be unexpected. It could be surprising. It could happen very suddenly. Okay, where it's like the flip completely switches on something. And I think that's a good thing with what I'm picking up here, because I am feeling nice. For some of you, aside from playing it cool and something changing unexpectedly, I feel for the most part, if you are going through difficulties, it's important to stay confident and not... Listen, I'm a big proponent of getting feelings out and sharing them, and if you have concerns, letting them out. But there's certain times where you want to keep certain things to yourself. There might be a certain thing that you want to just keep to yourself. Let's just keep moving. I don't want to give bad advice. Let's keep moving. You just take that if it hits, my friends. It's like everything's fine. Everything's fine, even if it's not. So let's go in on the High Priestess and see what her mystery is about. And we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. Yeah, there you are. So we do have the Page of Swords. That is one of your cards, and I have been saying it since the very beginning. You are going to be pulling in more attention in the near future than you usually do, because this is the Watcher of the Tarot deck. It is a card that could also represent you. Okay. When I see it underneath this High Priestess, there should definitely be a sense of privacy. Or I said it here in the center, I'm saying it here and again. Like, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of privacy. You don't have to be a completely open book. It's okay to keep certain aspects to yourself. But the Watcher of the Tarot deck, then with the Six of Wands, I've been saying it since the beginning. There could either be someone or even multiple people that are like keeping an eye on you. I would say at the very least, Aquarius, there might be a situation that you want to keep an eye on yourself, where it's like, okay, there's a situation going on. I'm going to keep an eye on it. You don't have to be very active in it, but just keep an eye on it. But yeah, the High Priestess and this together, it's like someone watching from a distance or watching from the shadows. So again, I do feel for a lot of Aquarians, just know you might be under the microscope from someone, or maybe you have someone under the microscope. It could go both ways. But at the same time, I still feel great energy here. I still feel wins and victories and change for the better. But I think it's very important to know that for a lot of you, you're going to be drawing more attention than you normally do, and you should act accordingly. I don't know. Listen, I know Aquarians, they live how they live. They don't care what other people think. Very anti-establishment like that for the most part, and which I think is a beautiful thing. I'm an Aries. I'm the same exact way. But I feel like there should be something that you keep reserved. Let's go through and do a quick recap here, because now I'm just getting into the weeds with these messages. You can look into it further if you want. But before the shadow card, position number 1, we're starting with the Fool and the Magician in reverse. I did say watch out for spontaneous urges or urges flaring up. You might be acting more spontaneous than you normally do here. I also have a winner victory coming in where it's like a pleasant surprise, where it's like, all right, I wasn't expecting it, but I'll take it. Moving to the center, we have the Six of Wands, clarified by the Five of Pentacles. It's important to play it cool with something, act as if you're cool, you got this, very confident, unaffected. But I also get the vibe for a portion of you that something is going to switch, an unexpected change of some sort, where it's like a complete 180, where it goes from one way to another, like really rapidly. I think it's good. For the most part, I think it's good. And also gaining a lot of attention for one reason or another. Moving to the back end, we have the High Priestess with the Page of Swords, the Watcher of the Tarot deck. So that message has come out double, that either you might be catching more attention, you might be being watched, or maybe there's just something you need to keep an eye on. Like, even if you're not very active in it, just know that it's there, know that it's happening, and just stay informed. And there's something here about privacy too, so there might be something you want to keep to yourself for the time being. So we're just going to leave it at that, Aquarius. Please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. Let's see what's in the shadows for my Aquarians, please. God, Spirit Team, what's going on? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get it going here. Let's get this shadow card out. What do we have for Aquarius? What is happening for you good friends? Thank you. All right, Six of Pentacles. This is one of my cards of gift giving. I mean, 'tis the holiday season, right? In most places. Now, the Six of Pentacles is usually a nice balanced type of energy. It's very giving. It's an open energy. So it's interesting that I have this message of like being a little private, and we have the Six of Pentacles out, and that could tie into the shadow side of this card. The Six of Pentacles to me is very charitable. It's very giving. It's somebody that wants to give their energy to something, and I usually do like it a lot. It represents equality, balance, fairness, which is usually nice. But the shadow side could represent a situation where you feel this might be off balance, or this isn't fair for whatever reason. The Six of Pentacles in the shadows, it could also just represent things that are way off kilter that need to be balanced out. Or there should be something that you're not giving as much of your energy to. So you just take that for whatever it's. I feel like it's more positive than anything else. So for a lot of you, this could be really great energy coming in, but just make sure you're not dealing with any situations that are too off kilter if that makes sense. So we're going to leave it at that, Aquarius. That's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the December subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar and book one at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the December subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Everyday Witches Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what do you want Santa Claus to bring you this year for Christmas? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.